Good morning, everybody. It's Charity Smith, Ms.Mogul, the host of Master Your Morning with Ms.Mogul. Every Tuesday, I'm delighted to host some of our thought leaders in various industries and various genres of thought when it comes to women in business. And this week is no less. I have two wonderful ladies joining me here at the round table. I have the Wright Sisters, Rae Burrell and Christina Wright. Ladies, welcome to the Lioness Den. Come on in here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So wonderful.
I'm glad to have you both. We're going to be talking about some really, I think, timely and relevant subject matter when it comes to women and marketing, particularly digital marketing, what that means and how we can really capitalize on that. We're also going to talk about some of the mistakes we may be making in honing our message. So before we get to that, if you have not already, invite your friends, invite other thought leaders, women who are in the well, everybody is marketing. If you have a business or a service, you must be marketing, but how to do that properly, we're going to talk to these ladies about it. So please introduce yourselves to the market. I'll start with you, Rae, and then we'll come around over here to Christina. Tell us who you are.
My name is Rae Burrell. I own Rae of Light Assistants. I have been in business for about 3 years now, and I also have children. And
so what is Rae of Light?
Rae of Light started off as a virtual assistance business, and I have since morphed and developed into digital marketing and supporting influencers and bringing more engagement to their posts so that they can spread their message to the world.
So you really are kind of the backbone of the social media marketing for your clients. So that's what I'm hearing you say. You really help to get the message out, and we probably need to talk off camera. You really help to hone that message and then get it to the masses so that your clients can have that interaction that they're looking for with their base.
Yes.
Very important skill set. Talk to me about who you are, Christina.
So my name is Christina Wright. I own Right Now Results, which I took full time about 6 months ago.
Well, congratulations for jumping into the pool.
I have. It took me some time.
Yeah.
Rae most certainly was a very big catalyst. I grew up very much thinking that I was going to be a 9-to-5er for the rest of my life, and not even 9 to 5 because I was a reporter. So I really wasn't. It was really sad.
Yeah.
I think about that girl sometimes, and I'm just like, who is she?
Bye-bye to her.
Why don't you know who you are?
That goes to the book, but that's not what we'll talk about that later.
But nonetheless, so I also am in digital marketing.
Yes.
And I do more of the planning and strategic side. I enjoy, taking all the pieces, and I very recently have just had to embrace that side of myself that I have always been a planner.
Yeah.
And now I like to help businesses, particularly organizations, figure out how they can manage their digital media in a strategic and efficient way, because we really have limited resources, and our businesses just can't, it just can't go out there and just think that they're going to, that it's going to help. You have to have an idea of where it's going.
And I love the word that you use. You have to have a strategy.
Yes.
You have to have a game plan. You have to know where you are, where you're going, who's going on the journey with you, and what does the journey look like? What does the destination look like when you get there?
Oh, yes.
And I think, so many times we just kind of jump into this, especially when you're entrepreneurs or solopreneurs. You're juggling all of these hats and all of these balls at the same time. And in your head, you think you know where you're going until you actually sit down and strategize the path. And I think that's something you all bring to the market that's really needed. It's a strategy. It's a game plan. It's a how to get there that helps our clients and thought leaders really grow. So talk to me a little bit about how you have taken, I'll start with you on this one, Christina, how you've taken your expertise now and you're now using that reporter side of you. I don't know if folks know that you used to be a reporter.
Yes.
So now how are you bringing that expertise to the table to now grow this digital marketing business? And how are you bringing your virtual assistant's mind to now bring all of this together? Because we're going to talk about how this comes together in a day workshop. So tell us about your expertise and your background and how you're bringing that to the table now.
So what I found is, and God leads you to where you're supposed to be
all the time,
right?
All the time.
You do things and you're thinking the whole time, what is this for? What's the purpose? Well, along the way, as a reporter, I was always strategizing. I was always developing and implementing training for the staff on how to weave digital media into our storytelling, how to tell a story in ways that people, would really receive it and digest it, and it was accessible. So that's what I bring to the In a Day workshop series. Rae and I have always wanted to work together. We are 2 of 7. 7
Wow.
of us out there.
Wow.
Yes. And Rae and I have always had a very unique bond. I mean, we tell people all the time that she can be somewhere and feel something, and I will feel it. Very recently, I felt her labor pains. I was not proud. I was not excited about that.
Oh, wow. And you're not even twins. It's just a bond.
It's a very serious bond.
Yeah.
And we've always known that we were meant to do something together. So when I took that leap to go full-time into the business side, Rae said, I've had this idea, and I think that you can fill in the strategic side of it. And it really has been a wonderful partnership with the 2 of us. I mean, we really do fill in holes. And I think you even notice when you get responses from us, you'll get one from her, you'll get one from us.
It's like the same brain. It's the left side and the right side of the brain. It's a little weird.
Yeah.
It's a little, weird.
It is.
But it's very creative. But talk to us about, because you've thrown out the terminology of digital marketing. What exactly is digital marketing?
Your whole online presence.
Okay.
Your entire online presence is marketing, because these days everyone sees you. And when anyone has seen you in traditional marketing, when you're on a billboard, when you're out at a speaking engagement, those are all marketing tools. Those are all marketing, right? Well, it's the same thing with digital, whether it's your website, whether it's your social media, whether it's your Pinterest board, all of that is digital marketing. Your LinkedIn account, Group Me can be used in digital marketing. Just anything that is digital is your digital presence, and you really have got to strategically employ it, because as solopreneurs, we can't do it all. It's not possible.
It's not possible. And it's so important, too, that we realize that as solopreneurs, many of you watching are balancing so many hats, and I want to encourage you now to start delegating some of those hats and employing women like you who are really smart and informed and engaged and cutting edge in how you approach marketing. Perhaps it's time for you to now pass along that hat, solopreneur, to somebody like the Wright Sisters, who can help now engage even further, right? Because there's only so much we can do. We need to start employing people who have the skill set and the knowledge to do that. So I want to talk to you all about some of the trends, right? We've looked at some of the stats of success for women in business, and it bears out that some of them are doing some things right, some of them are doing some things that are not so right. What are some of the trends that you're seeing now with marketing and women? What are some of the trends that you're seeing?
So we've noticed that more and more women are starting to want to get out into the world and want that lifestyle. So now women are working hard to have that nice life and work balance, and they're taking their time. They're taking back their time. They're making their own decisions. They're finding out, like, if the man isn't going to pay me what I am worth, I will go out and I will get what I am worth by myself.
Okay.
So
isn't that a lioness approach to things?
Yes.
I will go feed myself. Okay.
Yes. So now they're especially with this women movement that's happening, and it's happening more and more. Women are really bonding together, and they're saying, I want to support other women, and I want to be more involved with women, and I want to empower more women. And that's the movement and the trend that I've been noticing more and more.
That's very true.
And how is it reflexive in our marketing? How is it reflexive in our marketing?
In our marketing, actually, Angel, we have a shout out, Angel. We have a group member we have a Women Entrepreneurs Mingle Facebook group. And in that group is a wonderful woman named Angel, and I can't remember her last name right now. But
it's probably best since we're on the World Wide Web, but that's okay.
Right. But sorry, Angel, but she brought together a big group of women. They just released a book called I Can, and it it is women working together. There's no way that we can do this. And I think that maybe sometimes our counterparts may forget this, that you are not in this world alone. You can't do this alone. There's no way in the world that you can. And the women are getting together. Our Women Entrepreneurs Mingle group has grown to 300 members in just 6 months because our group is about bonding over business. And that's what women do best. And because we do it, we move our businesses a lot further. Now, let me take you to where we're doing it wrong.
Okay.
And it's what you were saying, that we forget to lean on other people. We are so used to historically juggling the family and work and this. And, you know, because we do juggling well, we have carried it into our business.
Oh, wow.
Now, how that make any sense?
Yeah,
We
that's not gonna
cannot
work.
be everything to everyone. That's why God made sure there were multiples. We have purpose here, you know. And so I really encourage my women, if you are not, if that is not your lane, you know, I had a job, I had my last job, that's one of their favorite things they would say is stay in your lane. You know, we are experts in what we do.
Absolutely.
And if you are not an expert in communications, in digital marketing, in digital period, the biggest mistake that you really truly can make is just going at it alone. You know, even if you're not in the space where you can pay someone, you know, employ things like the In a Day series or the Googler, as Kathy likes to call it. I call her Kathy, by the way.
Okay, I was like,
So-
did Kathy join us?
No, I call her Tina too, because
So
those are our family
you
names.
have to let me know. Is there someone else joining us?
No.
Am I speaking to multiple
We're
personalities?
still getting used
Which
to
race
it.
am I speaking to? Okay, we're back. Okay.
We're in here.
Okay.
So, yes, I really do want to encourage our women out there to remember that just because you can do it
Doesn't mean you should.
Doesn't mean you should. And you certainly should jump out there with some form of a plan, even with your business. Do you know that I heard there was one of my good friends has a wonderful business, has been in business for 10 years. Do you know, I talked to her just yesterday, and she told me that she did not know until maybe 6 months ago she needed a business plan. A business plan. A business plan is essential, guys, to having a business.
Wow.
Yes.
She has
But
no
I
idea
think-
where she's going. She doesn't know where she's going because you have to plan that out. It's not, you can't just go out into the world without a plan. Like you have to have some sort of direction. You have to have some goals set. You don't know where you're going to be going if you don't have a plan.
And I think so many times we start off with just this big, bright idea, right? And so we're ambitious and we jump out there, and by all means, I want to encourage that ambition.
Yes.
But once you launch, again, it's like stepping out the door with the backpack. Yes, you have the backpack on, and yes, you've gone out the door, but you have to at some point employ the map.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
To know where the
Yes.
pit stops or where the benchmarks are, where to refuel, where to re-engage. All of those things are essential in the entire journey and the process of growing that business. But I want to go back to something you all talked about, the whole collaboration. About why you sisters are now collaborating, but more importantly, why women should collaborate in their businesses. So now that's a great segue into the In a Day workshop. The two of you now are bringing together your strategic background, that reporting background, right?
Yes.
That just goes for the details, goes for the big picture, and can really convey the message. And then we have the virtual assistant who now facilitates that message. You all are now bringing that together in this workshop experience for entrepreneurs. Talk to me about the workshop. What is it all about? When does it happen? And how can people, I mean, that's kind of important. And when can people connect with you? Talk to us about the
Okay.
workshop.
So currently we are offering the In a Day series. It's going to be on May 18th and 19th. It's going to be a 2-day intensive. It's going to be from 9 to 4 on the 18th and on the 19th. And they will leave with their business plan. They will leave not just any business plan, though. It's going to be a business plan that they actually want to refer to. You're supposed to look at your business plan every day. You're supposed to look at it as often as you make a decision. That's how often you're supposed to look at your business plan. So we've done it in a way to where it actually makes you want to look at it. So there's going to be that business plan. Then there is the strategic marketing plan, and the branding and logo, because you have to be consistent. You have to, you can't have colors just everywhere. You can't have filters everywhere. You are now an image. You are now the face of your business.
Your logo, I'm sorry, Ray. Your logo cannot appear on a colored background unless it's white. I want everybody to hear me on that.
White or
black. It is
black.
important. It is. I also have a graphic design background, and so I take this very seriously. I mean this with all seriousness. If you take nothing away from this show today, please don't let anyone use your logo on any colored background unless your logo is white. It's called reverse, okay? There are a lot of artists who will get that. I'm sorry, Ray, go ahead.
You're bringing up the point, though, because this is one of the attributes of the workshop, right? Because, again, you don't know what you don't know.
Yes.
And men and women just jump out there and say, well, I think that's pretty, and I think I love this, but we don't really take into consideration now, it's not you, it's the professional image of you.
Yes.
And it's not necessarily, even though we're taught to be authentically ourselves, but it's not always synonymous, right? There's some thinking into that. So tell us why digital marketing is a part of this, and why is it so important now that we learn these steps in our marketing?
Bang for your buck.
Okay.
Bang for your buck. We have we have finite amounts of resources, and for me, resources are not just my money. It is my time and my energy, because a very big reason that I wanted to be an entrepreneur is because when I have babies, I'd like to be at home with them. I'd like to spend time with them. So when you're in digital marketing, you have to make sure that you have some form of a plan. You have to make sure that you're not just out there because they said you're supposed to be. And that's the biggest mistake I think that we make in digital marketing, is that we know that this is free advertising. Basically, this is free marketing. There has never been a time where you can put yourself, you have control over your entire message, and it's out there, and you have to be consistent about it. But at the same time, you can't just be there because they said you're supposed to be. Last week I gave an example to our workshop, because we are running the workshop right now over the course of 4 weeks instead of the 2 days. But I told them last week, think about the people who went to college just because they were told to go to college, because they were told they had to be there, right? So if you're told you're just supposed to be in college, so these people just go to college. The folks who you're just told they're supposed to be there, what happens? They change their majors about 5, 6, 7 times. You know, they're there a lot longer than they anticipated. And the reason is because they didn't have a plan. They're just there because they were told to be there. So remember that. Everyone, I think we have an example of that person along in life that is somewhere just because they were told to be there. Now think about that person every time you're on digital media just because you were told to be there without any sort of idea.
It's very chaotic. And you can kind of see the chaos within the message, right? It jumps from one place to another.
Oh, yes.
So you brought up an important part, and we're going to wrap up, the workshop discussion, but you brought up the point of social media being a free form of advertising. While it is economical and a great tool, we know that if we're going to grow that brand, there are some investments, even in social media, that we have to make. And many times I think women or business owners, not me just say women, but business owners may not always know where to put the investment. Right?
Very true.
So talk to us about why it's important to come to the workshop and hear about digital marketing, because again, you brought up the definition of it's anything online. So it's Pinterest, it's Facebook, it's Twitter, it's LinkedIn, it's all of those social media platforms that we're using to facilitate, if you will, the discussion between us and our clients. But again, there has to be a consistent message. So one, we have to learn how to hone that message. Secondly, what does that message look like consistently? Talk to us about why it's important we find out those components before just jumping out there and just kind of blah all over social media. And people are like, Maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably
No,
not.
and clicked you
Yeah.
clicked you off. So the End of Day series, and like I said, it's Rae's baby, and it was so wonderful that she came up with this idea, because really what she thought about at first was branding in a day. Can we help someone with their brand, which is essentially your business's personality, right? And so we said, okay, but before you get to that, you need this piece. You need your marketing
And
plan.
then you have to